also think the culture's different.
It is. It is.
I think when in our era, people got on and they actually, the culture was to change.
Yes.
You were actually looked at like, you were looked down on if you were a millionaire
and you still doing
dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, but nowadays, I think the culture is like, oh, we get on and we turn up more.
And we push a harder line. Yeah.
You
and
know?
Unfortunately, I mean, that's the problem. You know, if any youngsters is watching, man, like, for real, like, don't be afraid to evolve. That's how it's cool to get to my age. I'm 45. I'll be 46 in a few months. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to grow old, to have kids, have grandkids, be successful, be healthy, be free. That's cool. It's not cool to die, get some money, and then die at 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the mission. That's not the cool. Because at the end of the day, listen.
What you doing it for?
What you doing it for? You might as well just say fuck it and go back to the hood then. It was all a waste of time. Just say fuck it and go ahead and go back to the projects, go back to the hood and just be there. You know what I mean? Because you're not, you know, you playing with a couple cars and some jewelry and a couple bitches, but then what's that? What, you could do that shit, you know, go back to the hood. You know what I mean? So I think they got to look at the bigger picture. And I think don't be afraid to look towards your OGs. Don't be afraid. Like, it's like my platform, like with Holding Court Podcast. That's what I try to give them game. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, when you look to like how Wallow was with Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt that moment. Cause you're right. When you get to our age, man, we want to see you niggas win. You know, I'm not judging them. Cause I was young and did some dumb shit. And as you just pointed out, Cam busting me out, you know what I'm saying? I done had my moments where I did, you know, regressed, you know what I mean? But the difference was I wasn't the aggressor. You know, these are situations that I was forced to respond, you know what I mean? So, you know, I like NBA YoungBoy. I think he has so much talent, so much potential. I want to see this nigga win. I want to see Lil Durk win. Lil Durk is an amazing fucking artist, businessman. You know, they both got their crews. They both employing people. You know, y'all have employees. You have guys and you have families depending on you. Now I understand. Listen, I get the streets, right? Blood has been shed. So I understand if these niggas are never going to be able to sit down and sing Kumbaya and toast marshmallows and smoke a blunt and do songs together. I understand that, right? But I'm just saying, on the bigger picture, imagine if what these niggas could do and create coming together, pulling resources together, you know, pulling the influence together. All of y'all going through record labels. Now imagine if y'all pulled y'all influence together and y'all resources together to create your own distribution company. You know, to create your own record conglomerate. I'm saying where you don't have to deal with Empire. No shade to Empire. They do good. Y'all don't have to be on Atlantic. Y'all don't have to go up here and deal with these record labels where you in these 360 deals and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, most of these niggas are. You know what I mean? It ain't as good as they try to paint it out to be. But at the end of the day, think about if y'all pulled y'all resources together, how you could really shift the culture forward. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. When motherfuckers start thinking past the right now, stop playing checkers. Shit, even playing chess, play Monopoly. You know what I'm saying? Start trying to buy up some shit and own some shit. You know what I mean? Really try to own some shit in the culture. Not just your masters. That's cool. That's a good start. But then let's try to own, you know, some of these distribution companies and these record labels. Not just a label for you and your homies, but I'm talking about a label for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Distribution. That's where it all is right there. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, I try to get them to see the bigger picture, bro, you know. But ultimately, man, I like all them little niggas, man. They all got potential. When people say that, you know, NBA YoungBoy is like the Tupac of this generation, I can't argue that. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue that. I mean, dude, he push a line. He is who he say he is. I believe Little Durk is I believe most of these little niggas is exactly who they say they is. But y'all ain't got shit to prove. Y'all ain't got shit to prove. Y'all already proved it. You know what I'm saying? Now prove to the world that y'all can be bigger and better than that. You know what I'm saying? Prove to the world that y'all niggas can really be bosses and really, you know, live past the life expectancy of what you know, society has for you. Because at the end of the day, when y'all kill each other and go to jail, guess who benefits the most? The record labels. You know what I'm saying? The record labels. So think about the CEO up at Atlantic, Ghazi over at Empire. They ain't got to watch they back. They not beefing in the streets. They don't got to have security. You know what I'm saying? When you die and when you go to jail and your streams go up 1,000%, they benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? When you dead and gone and they licensing your shit for 50 years, 40 years from now, 30 years from now, yeah, your family and your estate might get a couple little pennies, but they gonna be cool with their feet kicked up. Ain't worried about no beef, ain't none of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers got to think outside the box. You know, that's what I think about that. I understand that on the music front, you know, competition is healthy. I understand, you know, rap is a contact sport. You know, I get it. You know, everybody want to be the best. Everybody want to be the hardest. Everybody want to have the most. That may a level of that could be is healthy for rap. But I think that when it bleeds over and it becomes, you know, like I say, when motherfuckers is walking on the precipice of disaster, you know, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I've always enjoyed battle raps, you know, but when it starts spilling over into the streets where like people are dying, like, nah, that it's not good no more. You know what I'm saying? If it's just kept on the music side,
right,
all right, that's cool. But when people start dying, not good.
Nah, that's
good
not
for
good.
hip hop.
Especially, you know, man, listen, Moneybagg Yo said that shit the best. He said, man, if it ain't about no money, you know, ain't no blood been spilled, then what we doing? You know what I'm saying? You know, I get it with the King Von shit. I totally get that. But for these other little petty beefs and shit like that, but I'll take it even a step further. And again, you know, I understand I'm further along in the game. You know, I keep speaking on if blood is being spilled. Once the blood is spilled, right? Everybody lose somebody on each side. Somebody gotta, you know what I'm saying, take the high road at some point. Somebody has to say, you know what, my nigga, that shit happened. Fuck that shit. We done with it. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, once you go on body for body, when does it stop? You gain nothing. You gain nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't gain nothing. And so, and I understand I'm speaking from a enlightened space of being older, you know, because I didn't think like this 20 years ago. This was, you live life long enough to teach you how to live. So that's how I arrived here. Some of this I already had when I was in my 20s too. But, you know, listen, I've been burying homeboys since I was 13 years old. I come from the gang culture, so I understand what they're talking about. But when you really look at it, you lose a homeboy, it's unfortunate, but going to go kill up a bunch of motherfuckers, what do you gain? You don't gain shit. And then on top of that, you sow bad seeds for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to deal with that. You know, what do you think you're going to reap from that? You benefit nothing. How you win in that situation is by leveling up and bossing up and succeeding and putting yourself in a position that, okay, that dead homeboy that you got, you put yourself in a position to where now, okay, you can help his family. You can help his kids. When they get older, he got a college fund. You see to it that you're in a position to make sure that his family or his seed or whatever doesn't go down the path he went or the path that you're going. That's how you win in that situation. You know what I'm saying? You don't win by, okay, you going to go kill his homeboy, then they come back, kill you, then kill them and kill him, kill. Nobody wins.
Well, man, that's a good lesson for him, Big Court. Hopefully somebody watching this will take that and take it serious, because it's definitely some good information, man. And you know, it sucks to see all these rappers dying.
It does.
Man, I just hate it.
And let me say, I'm not judging, bro. I don't think that I'm holier than thou. I made my level of mistakes, which is why I can speak on it from making the mistakes. So I'm not even speaking on it from a place of I've done everything right, because I haven't. You know, you know what I'm saying? I've even come on this show and I've been transparent with some of my bullshit, you know, but I learned from it, and I'm able to hopefully share them lessons to say, hey, you ain't got to bump your head like I did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's cool to, man, in order to really succeed and level up and get to that, you know, when you talk about your Master P's and your Jay-Z's and your Jay Prince's, you got to understand, you know, Master P has been my mentor for 27 years. You know what I'm saying? Ice-T is one of my close homeboys, Jay Prince. So what you got to understand is these people have never been to jail. You know what I'm saying? These people are from the streets and have never been to jail. They did everything you did, but they never been to jail. But they were able to reach these very elite spaces of success. What do you think the commonality is with them? You know, it was basically, in order to level up, you got to learn how to let bullshit slide. You got to learn how to let shit slide. You know what I'm saying? You can't give everything your attention. Everything ain't that serious when you got your eye on a bigger play. So what, niggas talking shit? Niggas always gonna talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So what if niggas, you know, certain niggas ain't gonna be able to go with you. Everybody that come with you can't go. You know what I mean? They gotta grow with you. If they don't, then they need to get the fuck on. You know, so you gotta be loyal to yourself, you know, before you loyal to the set or loyal to the gang and be loyal to your family.
That's what's up.
Yeah, real talk.
Definitely, Big Court Mel. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Cam. You know, we got to do it again, bro. It's always a pleasure to see you, my nigga.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
You know, our second time, and you know, definitely some dope conversation.
Real talk. So let me tell everybody, man, to subscribe, like, and comment to the Holding Court podcast. You know what I'm saying? If y'all haven't already subscribed to Cam Capone and you just stumbled on this interview, do that too. That's the homie.
Appreciate you.
Yep, right on, bro.